So this video was supposed to be done yesterday, filmed and edited and then uploaded yesterday. But I hated it so much, I deleted it, and then I took a huge depression nap. So over the weekend, it was record store day, and I actually did pretty good not going nuts and buying every record that I saw, because that has usually been a problem with me for record store day, because now I'm actually trying to budget myself. And honestly, like this year, there wasn't anything that I desperately needed until I went to the exclusive bin, and then there was like a bunch of things that I really needed, but I controlled myself. Once I did that, and then it just prompted me to do like a regular like vinyl, like not a haul, but exploring type thing, collection review type of thing. I don't know. I have a lot. Like I have an obsessive amount of vinyl. It's just a lot. So I've only selected like my favorites, like the important ones to me. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to talk about is this one, and this is actually a record store day exclusive. I had no idea it was. It was the last one at the store. Did I need this? No, but actually, yes, I did need this. My Chemical Romance, The Black Parade Is Dead record. This was their very last show in Mexico, and this was an absolute like must. I actually have this on CD with the concert on DVD, and it's pretty cool because this actually comes with a death certificate, which I thought was really neat. I just leave it in here because I honestly don't know what to do with this. The cause of death, overexposure to elements. Pitch me to the fuck. Here. Oh my god, it looks so cool. So I needed this purposely for my MCR collection, and a lot of people are saying, they're like, really, you like MCR? Do not come for me. Like, seriously, don't at me. Okay, next one. This is not a record store day exclusive. That was my only like record store day exclusive album that I bought, but I did get another album over the weekend, and I'm pretty excited for this one. Ghost's new album. I still don't know how to pronounce the title of this album, but yeah, it's Ghost's new album. Did I need this? Also no, but I'm glad I have this. A lot of people don't like this album. Like after like a few days that came out, like I read online that like people were not happy with this album, but I like it. I thought it was cool. Faith is awesome. I really like Witch Image, and Life Eternal is really cool. And the cool thing about this, it came clear, which I thought was so cool. I think this is my only like clear album. I think. I totally think. I could be lying, or I don't remember, but either way, it's really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed this album. I thought this was definitely like my summer album of last year. I thought it was really good. Yes, it's a different sound. It went a completely different direction, but hey, most bands are gonna do that, okay? So either accept the change or move on. Stop arguing about it. Just the music's there, so enjoy it. So those were the only albums that I bought on record store day. Like I said, I did really good. So now we're just gonna jump into albums that are like my faves, and just gonna take it from there. Okay, so next up, my favorite Queen album, Innuendo. This is my #1 favorite Queen album. I don't know, I really enjoyed these songs on here a lot more. I'm Going Slightly Mad. That's the theme song for my life. Headlong's really good. Delilah is a song about Freddie Mercury's cat. Like, come on! And then, of course, These Days of Our Lives and The Show Must Go On. I just felt this one was more like triumphant. It just feels like you're at like a really weird show and stuff. So that's why I really like these songs a lot more and stuff. This next one I didn't think I was gonna own in my life, but somehow it just fell right at my feet, and this was one that had to be a necessity. 30 Seconds to Mars, A Beautiful Lie. Okay, so just go back in time a little bit, okay? Just come back in time with me when this album came to be. You would hear A Beautiful Lie and To Kill, just Was It a Dream, From Yesterday. You would just hear those songs just anywhere. It would pop up on your head, the radio, MTV, yeah, it was still a thing, right? MTV was still a thing when these came out. Yeah, I think MTV was definitely still a thing when it came out. I loved 30 Seconds to Mars, like this album, like this sound. And that is gonna catch me some flag because I know people love of course I liked some of the new songs. Like This Is War is definitely really good. I think that was like my second favorite album. And then they went on like a serious drastic change, which I was on board with for a little bit, and then I'm just like, yeah, I kind of like got bored of it after a while. But this was definitely like the golden years of 30 Seconds to Mars. I cried when I saw this at the store. I was like, I desperately need this. I need to relive my childhood. If anybody lives on like the East Coast and like the New Jersey, New York area, does anyone remember Bamboozle? Like the Bamboozle Festival? It's kind of like, it was a miniature Warped Tour. I would say that's kind of pushing it, but it was like a mini like three-day festival of like all these bands and stuff came on. 30 Seconds to Mars was on the roster, and oh my god, they opened up with A Beautiful Lie, and I swear to god, I lost my goddamn mind when they opened up in that song. You just hear that one piano note, which is like, okay. Nothing else can faze me because this was an awesome moment. So this is a definite must for my collection. And if I see This Is War on vinyl, I'm definitely gonna snag that one. I know they have like the newer ones. I'm like, I don't know. Okay, this next one is, I don't want to say it's weird, but it has like a really like deep meaning for me. This is the Night in the Woods soundtrack. If anybody has played that game, it's fairly new. I really enjoyed this game, like so much to the point I cried in like almost every playthrough about it. I'm not going to spoil too much, but it is definitely a game that you have to play multiple times to get like multiple endings. So what really struck me with this game, not only just the story and the characters alone, was definitely the music. Like it just has that like really just super chill vibe that I'm absolutely obsessed with and stuff. It's something like I would always go on YouTube and like just look up the music for this and just put it on and like go study, just go relax and do anything, and I would just be like super in a good mood with this music. And this is the front, and then also this is the back. If you played the game, this is May's like dreamscape world. I was super excited when it was announced that this is going to be on vinyl, because I thought, the first thing I thought originally was like, if this music was on a record, that would be bomb. So I pre-ordered this in, oh god, when did I pre-order this? I want to say like November, December. I pre-ordered it and it came like at the end of January. So this is just, oh my god, just look how cute everybody is. Look how cute. Oh my god, seriously. And it came with like a free pin of May playing bass. So, but I'm not gonna spoil anything about the game. I would just say like go check it out for yourselves. I got all my friends to play it, and then they really like hit a chord with the story and stuff. So like I said, this is like super important to me that I had this, and I just like, it's just super chill to listen. And on a day like this, like it's super cloudy and like kind of chilly outside, I would definitely like just have this playing, and it's just really good. We need to talk about this. I have a deep obsession with cult classic B movies. This is on the top of my list. Phantom of the Paradise. This is a movie that came out in 1974. It is definitely like, it's Phantom of the Opera, but in the 70s. And plus, Paul Williams at his finest. Just to give you like a quick like run through of the movie. This guy right here, this creepy dude, yeah, he wants to become a famous musician and stuff, but he can't because this guy right here thinks this guy is kind of lame, but he writes really good. So he steals his music, and without even to his knowing and stuff, and then he tries to make his life miserable, and they end up kind of sort of working together. That's kind of like the basis of it right now. I'm just gonna say like definitely like go look up this movie, and definitely like look up the soundtrack as well. So one year I went to a horror movie convention, and to my surprise, the guy who plays Beef, that actor was there. I met him and he was super sweet when I told him that like I was in love with this movie and stuff, and he was shocked. I was like, you're so young, how could you like this movie? I'm like, dude, shut up, it doesn't matter, this is a really good movie. Goodbye Eddie, goodbye The Hell of It Once again, Paul Williams, Old Souls by Jessica Harper. And it's pink. It's so freaking cool. Yeah, there's definitely like different types of, I want to say different genres that hits this movie. There's slow mellow, there's like heavy rock, there's stuff from like the 50s kind of sounding here. It kind of like jumps all over the place, this movie, but it's so bad, but it's so good. Next album, Gerard Way's Hesitant Alien. When people found out that Gerard Way was putting out like music again, it kind of felt like Dad was home. I was like super stoked that he was coming out with like his own stuff. I think this was definitely like after the death of MCR. Rest in peace to all my fellow emos out there. It's like this, Gerard Way can't do wrong when it comes to like writing songs and stories. How It's Going to Be is definitely like my go-to driving song. Maya the Psychic is actually super cool too. That's actually like one of my top 5 favorite songs, and No Shows is awesome. I forget what year this came out, but it was another like Record Store Day exclusive. I forget what year it was, but this I actually found in like the leftovers of Record Store Day, so that was a must-have. It's 45, so it only has 2 songs that didn't make it to the main album, so this is super cute. It's like all pink tie-dye. It definitely just has that like that super like, what is it, like I would say like super chill rock. A lot of feedback in this album. He loves the feedback to his music. You can't go wrong with Gerard Way, I swear to God. Like, he's my hero for a reason. Oh, I would be a fool to not include the Rocky Horror Picture Show soundtrack. This was one of the first albums that I bought by myself when I first got my record player. But this was a must-have, not only for me, but for my mom as well. We kind of like grew up together, like watching this movie. Like when she was younger, she went to the Midnight Show, and then she introduced me to this movie, and I just absolutely fell in love. I think this was like one of the first movies that got me like obsessed with like B-movie, cult classic movies. Actually, speaking of, I have other like variants of this one. I have this one, which is the OG movie. This one, that is the original London cast. This was only $8 at the record store. And then I have this one, which is the Australian cast. The only significant like difference of these ones is like nobody like from here was in this one because it's the Australian cast, I think. I could be totally wrong. Nope. The only actors that made it to this one was definitely Jonathan Adams, Tim Curry, Richard O'Brien, right? Yes, Richard O'Brien, and then Patricia Quinn is also on here. Yes, those were the only original actors that made it from the London cast to the movie. Everybody else, they switched to who we all know. I totally forgot it was red. Oh my God. I totally forgot it was red. No. Don't get stuck. Gently. Gently. No. All right. It doesn't... Okay. There we go. Fabulous. Thank you very much. Tim Curry's album. Didn't know this existed. I found it in the dollar bin in the city, and I was like, yup, gotta have this. Tim Curry's voice... How do I describe it? His voice is just like butter. But I didn't know this existed until my uncle found this in like the dollar bin of a record store in New York City. And I'm just like, yeah, sure, fuck it, let's do it. But no, this album's actually really fucking good. Simplicity, On a Roll, Dancing in the Streets are just some of my absolute favorites. Did I ever tell you guys I met Tim Curry? I paid $100 to meet him. It was definitely worth it. This is an important one. This is super important for me to have. The Hunchback of Notre... Oh, there we go. The Hunchback of Notre Dame soundtrack. My absolute favorite Disney movie. And this movie does not get enough credit because, well, of course, it talks about like religion and everyone's like, oh, it's so dark and stuff. Like, listen, it's Disney. Somebody's always dying in Disney. This one doesn't like get as much credit as I would like it to have credit, but this was my absolute favorite Disney movie growing up. And why it was my favorite, because the music, definitely like Topsy-Turvy, The Bells of Notre Dame was... First off, I didn't know, like, when I was a kid, I didn't know, like, music sounded, like, that pretty. Like, I think I had, like, a deep obsession with, like, choir singing. So, I think that's why I kind of fell in love with it. And plus, Hellfire is just dope. There's just, like, 1,000 covers of people singing Hellfire. There's, like, one specifically of a girl singing Hellfire, and I was just like, oh, that's awesome. It was so good. I'm actually pretty pissed because I think Disneyland had like a 90s night, and then they had like specific characters like come out and like, you know, be with everybody and stuff, and they had characters from the Hunchback of Notre Dame show up, and I'm so mad. The only time I would go to Disney World just to meet my favorite Disney characters, and they never show up except for 90s night. This is a public service announcement. Roger Waters' The Wall. Definitely my most favorite Pink Floyd album is The Wall. Why is it my favorite? Because it's so fucking weird, but it has a deep personal message, and I loved it so much that I was able, and I'm just so glad I was able to see The Wall like be performed in front of my eyes. I saw them in 2012 and they performed at Yankee Stadium. That's the only time I've been to Yankee Stadium, not for a game, but for a concert. Seeing this like experience live and hearing the music live, it was so amazing. I don't have any of the videos. I have a couple pictures floating around, I think. I have to find them. It's been a couple years. Like, he has like a concert DVD out, which you can totally watch, and then he has the like the Wall movie that came out like years ago. So it is just, oh God, I'm getting so many flashbacks. It hurts. But it was so fucking cool. I listened to The Wall like, I was actually kind of young when I first like discovered Pink Floyd and stuff, and then when I first discovered The Wall. And go watch this too, because it was a tearjerker and it was just amazing. I saw this, and then I saw Roger Waters do his own show, which was the Us versus Them show, which was last year? Last year. Yes, that was last year. Yes, it was last year. And that was fucking phenomenal. And if that album doesn't come out, oh my God, I need that shit. Okay, I feel like if I'm making this video, it would be wrong for me to not talk about this, because this was a weird buy, a sketchy buy, but I'm glad I have it. The Last Unicorn, also another one of my favorite movies growing up. How this well-loved record came to be. Well, when I first got my record player, I just started scouring the internet for a multitude of records that I wanted, and this is at the top of my list. I went on Discogs and I saw some dude from Italy was selling this for actually a fairly cheap price. I paid for it and I didn't get any messages like saying it was confirmed or nothing, and then like 2 weeks later it's at my doorstep. Cool, awesome. This thing has been, oh boy, this thing has been well loved. So I'm just super glad that it is here and I can just relive my childhood. This thing is like so beat up and is well loved, and it's also in German. I think that's German. I'm pretty sure. The Queens of the Stone Age, the Villains album. Oh my God, this is my baby. I love this album so goddamn much. This is my pride and joy. I love this album so much. Like this album was played like on a loop over and over and over again, and I kind of annoyed people in my house like playing this out so much. I'm like that like Drake Bell meme where he's like, dude, I love this album more than I love myself. Queens of the Stone Age is definitely like one of my favorite bands and stuff, and this just hits like, oh, this struck a chord with me. I just love it so goddamn much. I love it more than I love myself. Starset, the Transmissions album. This is our first album. Starset in general it's one of those bands that I'm super thankful we have in this world. Okay, so Starset is a band that talks a lot about future, the technology, how it impacts our world today, and how our world is changing through time and technology, and how it changes people. Of course, about a lot of space, just lots of space. Their sound is so cool. Their lyrics are just like on like a deep level. Like I really was like taken aback when I heard their lyrics for some of these songs. But just like look at this. It's like freaking blueprints of space and an astronaut. It's just, oh, it's so good. The really cool thing about this band too is just like it really puts you, like it feels like you're in a movie type of thing. Like there are a couple songs in here like after like the singing's done, it just goes off where it feels like you're in like you're in a movie, like you're in a legitimate like space movie. Like there was one time like I was driving home at night, and then I think the song was It Has Begun and Anti-Gravity, when like those songs are done and then it kind of goes off for like 2 or 3 minutes of just instrumental. Like you legitimately feel like you're driving in like you ever see like those trailers of like it's an action movie or a space movie and stuff. You actually feel like you're in that scenario. So that's why it sounds like so cool when you're just driving along to this, because it just feels like it puts you in the movie, in the action and stuff. And it's so cool because when my friend drove home like listening to this, he's like, yeah, I actually did feel like I was in like a spacecraft. So a huge chunk of my vinyl collection I have my dad to thank for, because he is a giant Elvis fanatic. So it would be wrong for me not to include this into one of my favorites. So my dad's thing was every Saturday morning he would blast Elvis. When he was gonna get ready to start cleaning the house, he would blast Elvis so that way everybody in the house would hear him, and then that would be his signal to be like, it is time for you to wake up, it is time to start cleaning. I definitely have some hard times listening to Elvis because it just reminds of him. If it wasn't abundantly clear, he passed away in 2012. So I will say, like, yeah, it is kind of hard sometimes to listen to Elvis, especially when like Can't Help Falling in Love starts playing, because that was like his song to my mom and stuff. So it does get kind of hard sometimes to listen to it, but when like more like fun songs start coming on, I get like a little better with it and stuff. Plus he wouldn't want me to be like super bummed when Elvis is playing, because fucking come on, it's Elvis. I have a lot of Elvis, like a lot. Like I think I have like 2 or 3 Christmas albums and like just more of like his best of and like his main album. So but there's a lot, but this one was, like I said, it was well loved by my dad, and now I just play it. I play it when I, you know, want to remember him. I think that's it for now. Like I said, that was only just like a few of my favorites. I hope you did enjoy it and stuff. Leave a comment below, like what's your favorite record and stuff, or if there's a record out there that you're trying to grab onto. Like I said, I have a lot more. I would be more than happy to do a part 2 if you guys were interested. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I'm definitely gonna go listen to a bunch more of these now because now I'm in the mood. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will definitely be seeing you soon. Bye guys.